In your first 5 minutes as a pilot, you're expected to understand everything. The weather, the runway, the winds, the patterns, the altimeter, all while trying not to stall, panic, or embarrass yourself on the radio. And for most new pilots, that wall of information hits like a brick wall. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the FAA uses something called ATIS, or Automatic Terminal Information System, to communicate to pilots all of the weather conditions and such, which I'll go over right now. Alright, so here's a brief summary of ATIS. It's basically a voicemail that the air traffic control leaves to pretty much all pilots, which covers weather, runway patterns, which I'll get to that, runway headings in a sec, and then other remarks. It also includes information and then a letter of the phonetic alphabet, but mostly usually Zulu or Z. So information Zulu, information Alpha, Bravo, etc. Runway headings also kind of random, but it's the degree that the runway is facing, short to long. Then you take the compass headings, so say 180 degrees, and then take out the last number, route that to 10, so that's runway 18.
Echo 2053 Zulu. Wind variable at 5, temperature 34, 2.3, altimeter 2980. Visual approach in use, landing runway 25 left and runway 25 right. Luke special air traffic rule in effect. Notice airman, runway 25 right and taxiway Bravo center line markings non-standard. VFR aircraft advise ground control direction of flight. Arrivals from the south, contact tower 118.4. From the north, contact tower 120.2. Advise on initial contact, give information, echo.
If you're like most people, you probably found that ATIS report example very confusing, and here's just a quick summary on how to unravel what all of that just meant. So going back to the drawing board, we have the airport that they listed, obviously, which was Deer Valley Airport, which is in Phoenix, Arizona. The information to report to the tower was information echo, so that's what you want to report to. The rest I already explained. It's all the weather conditions that they included. Temperature and dew point that refers to if the dew point is closer to the temp, then that means that it's going to be more foggy or less foggy if it's further away. So this is a perfect day. Altimeter is 2980, which you just move the decimal point over 2. The runways in use, which those are the runways in use. The time is in Zulu or UTC, Greenwich Mean Time, which is in military time, 8:53 p.m., which is local time, 1:53. And then any other remarks that the airport wants the pilot to know. And that's unraveling this whole mess of ATIS. And the problem that I want to get at here is if the pilot doesn't understand a single thing that ATIS goes over, then they're putting their lives and the passenger lives at risk. And then they'll become disoriented, just like these pilots here. And you don't want to be like these pilots here. FlightClarity is a tool that takes confusing pilot information and turns it into plain English. When you hear ATIS, read a METAR, or see a runway and weather updates, it can feel like another language. And for new pilots, that's one of the hardest parts of flying. FlightClarity fixes that. It listens to the airport's ATIS message or reads the weather report and instantly explains what it actually means using clear text and simple visuals. So, as a pilot, instead of hearing something like this,
Harry Reid International Airport, ATIS Information X-ray, 2154 Zulu, wind calm, visibility 10, sky condition clear, temperature 32, dew point 1, altimeter 3004.
You get an image closely to something that resembles this, which includes the airport, the time, the weather, the wind, the temperature, and even the altimeter setting, all in plain human text, so even the passengers can understand. And if you're wondering too, yes, that does include your 97-year-old grandma. And by implementing FlightClarity into your flight plan, I assure you that this tool will help thousands of new pilots train smarter, fly safer, and step into every flight feeling prepared. Because in aviation, knowledge isn't optional.
Because knowledge is power!
And with FlightClarity, that power is finally in your hands.